First time I've ever done a reno, first time I've ever bought a property that wasn't immediately ready to be tenanted or already tenanted. And it was a pretty big learning experience for myself. I don't think I'd ever do it again, to be honest. G'day guys, Steve here from Dilleen Property Group and Picker Financial Solutions. Today we're standing in front of a small property I picked up in September 2023. It's now March 2024. So for around 3 months between September and December, so I picked it up at the very end of September into the end of December, I did a small renovation in here. So first time I've ever done a reno, first time I've ever bought a property that wasn't immediately ready to be tenanted or already tenanted. And it was a pretty big learning experience for myself. I don't think I'd ever do it again, to be honest. Maybe for a house I was living in, but certainly not for an investment property. It was a real handbrake when it came to being able to manage my other properties, being able to manage my life, like being able to get on top of work, like having to come here every night and every weekend to work on the kitchen, to work on the bathroom, to work on the laundry, to work on the paving out the back. We've got tenants in there now, so I can't take you through. But it was a bit of a mission. Probably cost me between 15 and 20 grand between materials, labour and time that the property wasn't tenanted for. And so we talk to people all day, every day that want to look at properties that are maybe a little bit run down or a little bit sort of underloved to a degree, that need a little bit of work. But if you're on the East Coast and you were trying to get a reno done over here in the West, what I paid 15 to 20K for, you would probably pay 30, 40, 50, 60K for, and I think it would be untenanted for a lot longer time, because I did a lot of this work myself. I didn't have to wait for the next trade to come through or whatever it may be, but that's what would happen if you were trying to do something like this back home. So I'm not telling you what to do, but my experience from what I've had with this property would make me not want to do a renovation like that again. I would just buy the property off market, under market value, get that equity on entry. I probably put, let's call it 20 grand into the property. It probably increased the value in it by say 20 grand, but in that 6 month period, it's probably already gone up 50 or 60K. So where was if I just had to spend that time and energy on buying another property, I would have made more money. Through that learning experience for me, building a portfolio is all going to be through the properties you buy. It's not necessarily going to be through the renovations. Any kind of maintenance and stuff you want to do really just needs to be the fundamentals. If something needs to be fixed, if something needs to be replaced, your aircon needs to be regassed, whatever it may be, you want to kind of stick well clear of things that need fundamental renovations, like a kitchen, like a bathroom, like a laundry. So big learning curve for myself. Obviously you can do whatever you want, but for me, I don't think I'll ever be doing that again. Eddie did give me that advice in the beginning, but I decided to have a crack anyway. But it was a good learning experience and something that I'll remember moving forward. So this property right behind me, I've made $100,000 on already. However, it's not as simple as that. It was a bit of a journey to get here. So I paid $325 to get this one, and it's probably worth $425 in today's market, and it's only been 6 months. So there's probably 3 key facts that went into this property. So the 3 foundational things that we look for in a property is below market value, high cash flow, and good capital growth potential. This property was a bit different. So it was something that needed quite a bit of work on entry. Whether or not it was worthwhile doing, I'm not too sure now. I think I probably could have. I'm glad I bought it now because it's gone up so much, but the value hasn't really been in what I put into the property from a labour and a time and a materials perspective. It was all the equity. I've probably put 20 grand into it, and I probably got 20 grand worth of additional value out of it from that side of things, but the other 80K came from equity, and it also came from the growth that Perth is currently going through. So I don't know, like some people want to do renos. If that's your field, if you're a tradie, you've got a lot of time, you've got a lot of connections, you live in Perth, like this might be a good market to be investing and doing some minor renovations in. For most people, that's not really achievable. I probably wouldn't think that that really makes sense. And after my experience of having this sit here for 3 months while I chipped away at it on the weekend, losing rental money and not making any gains in that side of things, I thought it was a bit of a handbrake. It really stops you from being able to buy more property, because if this is vacant, I don't have that $500 a week coming in, and it can be a real handbrake when it comes to servicing more debt with more lenders. So picked it up for $325, currently worth $425, renting for $500 a week. We'll probably go up to $550 to $600 by the time this year is out. And so the returns are fantastic. The lessons I've learned have probably been good as well. But now we're only 10 minutes from Perth CBD. We're just south of the river. It's an area that is certainly booming at the moment. It's gone through a bit of growth in the past, and it's properties like this that are really, really valuable, because when you're looking at townhouses, villas, even units in areas where the houses are worth 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million, and you're picking something like this up for 325,000. We're on a huge block. There's 20 units here, but this thing is massive. and it goes forever. So if you're buying, let's say 2,000 square metre block, you've also got 100 square metres worth of land that you're buying into, as well as your portion lot. When you're buying into a property like this on such a big block, that's a real benefit as well. So there's many things to take into account with a property like this. I'm really glad I bought it now. A few lessons learnt, like I mentioned, and we'll just keep building. So when it comes to your portfolio, you just want to be buying properties that are rock solid, that you're going to be able to take your equity out of and continue buying, and that's certainly what this property is going to allow me to do, and we'll just look to go from there. So thank you for your time. We look forward to working with you in the near future.